Hello, and welcome to Cooking Lessons for Dad, where you'll learn to cook healthy, cook easy. My name is Karen Breyer, and today we are going to steam some beets. Beets are so delicious, healthy, easy to make. All we need is beets, and if you want to add some salt at the end, you'll need that. So I'm going to show you two different methods to steam beets. The way I've always steamed beets is I peel them, slice them, steam them. Other people like to steam them whole and then peel them after. So I'm going to show you both ways. There's pros and cons to each, but they're both delicious in the end. The first thing that you need to do is fill the bottom of a steamer pan with about 2 inches of water. I've already started heating, so it will go a little faster. We've got 2 inches in each one. You do want to keep an eye on the pans when they're cooking. The water will go down and you don't want to run it dry, so you'll remember that. I'm going to turn the heat to high to bring it to a boil. To cook beets whole, while the water is coming to the boil, you're going to cut off all the beet tops off except for about 1 inch. I already cut a couple. And you can save these. These are really healthy. You can use them in salads or other recipes. I'll save those. And you're going to leave the root on. I'm going to cut one of these off. Don't need both. Cut all but about 1 inch. Those will be good later. Next, you're going to wash the beets under running water, and I actually washed them before, so I didn't have to do it now. So I've got 4 beets here. You could have 4 to 5 medium beets or as many as you like. So let's see if the water has come to a boil. I hear it. I think it has. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and add the beets. Just put them in just like that. Cover the pan. We're going to steam them 40 to 50 minutes or until the beets are fork tender. So at about 40 minutes I'll start checking them, and larger beets take longer to cook, smaller ones cook faster. Okay, another method to steam your beets, if you want to cut them in wedges or slices and then steam them, that's how I've often done it. So you're going to go ahead and cut all of the tops and bottom off. Then you're going to dry them, just pat them dry. I'm just drying them so it's easier to peel. So you're going to go ahead and peel the beets like you would a potato. So you can see my hands are getting red. Okay, these are peeled. Next, I'm going to cut them. You can cut them in quarters, wedges, or slices. I've always cut them in slices, so I'm just going to do that. An easy way is just cut them in half and then slice them. You want to make them similar thickness so they'll all get done at the same time. Okay, our beets are all sliced. So I'm going to add the sliced beets. I'm just going to use my hands. And these are going to cook a lot faster than the whole beet, so I'm going to check them at about 20 minutes. And we want them to be fork tender. We'll be back when the first beet is ready. Okay, see you then. Okay, I checked the beets earlier. They weren't done, so I'm going to go ahead and check them again. Just piercing with a fork, and that's nice and tender. So I'm going to turn these off. And I'm going to check the sliced beets as well. And they are still a little bit hard, so I'm going to let them continue to cooking. I'm going to take the beets out to cool. They're very nice and tender. So we'll let them cool and then we'll take the skins off. Okay, I'm going to check my sliced beets. They're very nice and tender. So I'm going to turn the heat off. My whole beets are cooling, and let's try the sliced beets. So here's our sliced beets. I'm going to go ahead and try a couple. Nice and tender. I did have some extra water on hand. I'm always checking the bottom to make sure the water doesn't boil off. And if you do have low water, you don't need to take the whole thing off. You can just dump it through the steamer, the top pan, and it will run down to the bottom. It's easier that way. Try a little salt on these. I like kosher salt. These are just perfect. I love them. Next, I'm going to show you how to take the skins off the whole beets. You might want gloves for this. You can see the redness did come off my hands, but this is a little messy, so I'm going to wear some gloves. So you can just take a paper towel and the skin just rubs right off like that. If you want to make it easier, you can just cut the ends off and then peel. The paper towel gives it a little friction, so it just comes right off. That was pretty easy. The reason some people like to leave the part of the top and the root attached is they think more nutrients will stay inside and not leak out into the water. I think they're super healthy no matter how you cook them. So there's your whole beets. That might be easier, especially if you're going to cook a whole batch. One thing is now they're pretty cool, so if you wanted to serve them now, you can cut your whole beets into whatever size you like. You could make them sliced. If you want them diced for salads, you can chill them and serve them later. Possibilities are endless. So we could have chill them, put diced beets on the salad. If you want to reheat them, you can. Take off my gloves. Actually, the sliced beets, you could also continue to dice those up too. So there's 2 ways to steam beets. Pros and cons for both. Either way, the beets are super delicious, and try them and tell me which method you like best. Okay? See you in the next lesson. These are so good.